that have played a big part in getting me this far. Got goats and guitars. Got goats and guitars. Got goats and guitars.
Ah, there you go. God, goats, and guitars. I finally got it right. The song I wanted to hear. She said everybody needs their own God, goats, and guitars, and it may be something different for everybody, but we all need that solace, someplace that we can retreat to, and that I think that is a terrific song. That is E.G. Kite. Yes, I'm Ann Eller. Yes, we're now live on Facebook. Yes, we are. Am I? Yeah, I'm live on Facebook. I guess I could count on that today. Probably shouldn't be, but I am live on Facebook. But I think that's a great song. As I was saying before we came on the air, I had a great time at the Blues Cruise Saturday night. Certainly hope that if you get a chance, you will check out some of the videos that I did, live videos from Saturday night. Actually had a quick interview with Johnny Rawls, talked to a lot of people, recorded a lot of good music there. I spent most of my night right there at next door on Maxwell, where Johnny Rawls, the King Bees, Robert Gardner, and Donald Cesar showed up and got up on that stage and played some nice harmonica, and John Etheridge was playing the drums. So it was good. It was all good, and I really enjoyed being entertained by an old school entertainer. So that's what I did Saturday night after having a great morning, playing the music of all the artists. I had a real nice compliment, and somebody had texted me and said, Ann, thanks for playing the music of the artists that were going to be here. For those of us that can't get out in the weather and the heat and everything, well, I made it really special so that they could enjoy a blues cruise without going. So I thought that was a really super compliment, and I really appreciated that. That, of course, was the idea. So that's what we did. But we've got let's see, I just want to make a note here. We've got a lot of good things to talk about. In case you weren't listening, I am going to Greenville this afternoon and going to the Lieutenant Governor's really big announcement. Yes, she's in it to win it. She is going to be running for governor for the great state of South Carolina. I think that is terrific. I think that Pamela Evette is ready to lead. She's had some of the best experience anybody could have by being the lieutenant governor with Governor McMaster. She comes at it from a business background. I am really looking forward to seeing how she does in this race. So far, I think we've got 3 in it on the Republican side. We have Alan Wilson, Josh Kimbrell, and then, of course, Pamela Evette is putting her hat in the ring this afternoon. Who else will put their hat in the ring? Who knows who else will put their hat in the ring? We've got the Republican side, and then, of course, we have the Democratic side. So we'll see how that rolls. But I think she is a terrific candidate. She couldn't have had any more training than the best with Governor McMaster. So, and I think that when she's able to tear it loose and become the person, be the person that she is really going to show her colors to the state of South Carolina. So look forward to putting that on Facebook Live. We'll be going live. They say the program will begin at 5:45. So we plan to go live at 5:45-ish, just whenever they get started. I plan to be live. Getting pretty good at this live stuff, if I do say so myself. It's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun, too. So I hope to get an interview with her up there, too. So we'll have lots of good stuff for tomorrow. All right. So that's, I think, the big South Carolina news here in South Carolina. So much as usual going on. I think the big news is President Trump said they are going to sell more Patriots missiles to Ukraine since... Putin has decided he's not going to cooperate. He says yes, 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 but his actions say no, no, no. Right? Actions speak louder than words. And that's what you always have to go by, someone's actions. And Putin's action says, I'm not quitting. I'm going to continue what I am doing. So that is where we're at on that. That's not a good sign, just FYI. Will that bring Putin to the table? I don't know. Putin doesn't care about human life. He doesn't care about anything except winning what he wants, getting Ukraine back in the fold. I think he is obsessed with that. Otherwise, maybe he would have already made a deal. So that's going on. In the administration, I think we still have some questions as to what's going to happen. Don Bongino is threatening to quit. Kash Patel has not been happy. And then, of course, there is the Attorney General, Pam Bondi. What is she going to do? President Trump, I think, was trying to tamp the whole thing down and trying to hold it all together. But, of course, all this has to do with the Epstein files and what is or isn't. I don't think anybody actually believes that there was nothing in those files or nothing in those tapes, even more unbelievable. But at this moment, everybody seems to be stuck in their corners. President Trump says that he has spoken to Don Bongino, and he is Dan Bongino, and that he will. He thinks that it's all going to work out. But that was in my opinion, that was a big misstep. I also thought President Trump, when I know as much as he likes to control the narrative, at that press conference when they wanted to ask Pam Bondi why she hadn't released the documents and said there was nothing there after saying that there was something there. You may remember in that press conference when they were having a cabinet meeting, he said, why does everybody want to talk about that? We've got so much better stuff to talk about. Well, it's because we haven't got that one resolved yet. Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, and inquiring minds want to know. We want to know the truth. And, all the talk out there seems to think that there is something there, but nobody is willing to come forth with it. And so the administration is just saying, no, there wasn't anything there. Nobody believes it. Nobody believes it. And simply because you say there's nothing there doesn't mean there's not something there. So I think this is a story that's not going away. I think it is going to be very interesting to see if Dan Bongino decides to stay in this job, or is he fed up? Because, part of the problem is he had done so much research on this, the Epstein files. A lot of people had done a lot of research on the Epstein files. I don't necessarily think it has, some people have speculated, it had to do with Donald Trump, yada, yada. If it had to do with Donald Trump, guess what? they would have put that out there because all the Democratic side wanted to do was bury Trump. So I don't actually believe that. What I do believe is that there are people that may have been taking a ride on the Lolita Express. So, and they are trying to protect those. Maybe it would be really bad if they were exposed as being there. I don't know. But the very fact that we can't seem to get any answers makes everybody more suspicious. And if there really is nothing burger to it, then go ahead. What was the pile of papers that Pam Bondi had on her desk if they weren't the files for the client list that she said she had? What were the files? Did they release them? No. So I think there's, quote, more to the story, and eventually we probably will find out, and then we'll be told, oh, we had to lie because we had to protect da-da-da-da. Maybe Putin was on the flight. Who knows? Who knows? I have no idea. But anyways, that's one of the topics out there. Bringing it back home. Oh, also the tariffs, the 30% tariffs. Trump says the 1st of August, they're going down. Do you believe that they will? I don't know. I think that we've negotiated, and I love it. I also love it. I like what Trump's doing. I don't want anybody to mistake that I'm not a Trump supporter. I am a Trump supporter. I think what he's doing is a great job. I think he's a businessman, and he looks at the government as a business. And to me, that's what we need. That's why I think Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evette, one of the reasons that I think she would be an excellent governor. She has run a business. She knows what it's like to do payroll. She knows what it's like to keep all the balls in the air and have only yourself to depend on to make sure, even when you have a huge staff, if the buck stops with her, the buck stops with Trump. But I think when people go, oh, August 1st, it's all going to be over August 1st. You know, he's moved the goalpost before. And I love the fact that he goes, no, we've been going to do it August 1st. No, I don't think so. I think we've had the threat of this. And, of course, this is England and Canada, I guess, and Mexico are the chief areas. They do have some deals they're going to be announcing. And I'm sure they will be, I'm sure they're going to be effective deals. And how do you quibble, though, with someone that's brought in the first time ever a surplus into the government coffers? That's kind of hard to not to know what that it is. What they're doing is working. It is getting a higher temperature on removing, leaving, whatever for. Chairman of the Fed, Powell, though, he's on the hot seat, and I've seen some interesting things out there talking about the methodology of the Fed versus the methodology of the government and how the two are not working together. Well, we certainly have seen that. So that's another story out there that I thought was worthy of some. That's right. That was another story that I thought was worthy of having some discussion about. And can they actually come up with a plan that will bring what is needed to final kick this economy off? A lot of people are getting worried about the tariffs. What will the aspect of it be? I don't know. So far, it hasn't been that bad, I don't think. But will August 1st change things? I don't know. So I wanted to talk about a couple of things. Well, I'm going to have to save that article. That's a good one, but we'll talk about that one another day. another day, because it is a great article I wanted to share with you. What did I do with it? Trump's 2020 election loss may have been worse for America than his victory, columnist argues. Trump's 2020 election loss may have been worse for America than his victory. It's an interesting take on what happened when Trump lost, and would the country and even the Democrats be in better shape if 2024 had not happened? I mean, there is something to be said for that, and I'd like to delve into that, but I'm not going to have time to do that today, so we will do that another day. But that's a real interesting article that is out there. All right, what else we got? We didn't talk about the lawsuit on Josh Kimbrell, so I think we'll go ahead since he is running for governor, and today is a governor day, so let's see if we can check that out. They released Heidi Fleiss's Little Black Book. You know, that's true. Back when she was on trial, they did release that Little Black Book. So what's the big deal? You know, somebody else had said that, talking about the Epstein files, that what's his girlfriend's, the madam in the whole thing, that one of the conspiracy theories out there is that she may have more cards to play than what she's played, and so they may be trying to get that information out there. I think she got 20 years, and speculation is she'll never spend 20 years in jail, that she will get out, and she probably has a few cards, so maybe she has some information that they're trying to get from this, so that may be the other reason they're not telling us the truth. But anyways, that's yeah, you know, we did forget. They did put one person in jail for that, and she is there. So, anyways, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it as far as I know. My stories can change, though, depending on what's out there. Let's go through this story about Josh Kimbrell. He is running for governor. He is a senator. And they're saying that he stole millions from his upstate company. Now, that's what I found most interesting about this. State Senator Josh Kimbrell, who announced his campaign for governor in June, has been named in a lawsuit claiming he stole more than $2 million from an upstate company. It was filed by co-owner of Kimbrell's company, claimed that Kimbrell, while working as manager and financier for private aircraft charter company Exodus Aircraft, diverted millions of corporate funds for his own use. Kimbrell would allegedly take payments from customers, send them to a company called Exodus Airways, LLC, a sham company created by Kimbrell, which would then be transferred to a personal bank account made by Kimbrell, according to the lawsuit. The lawsuit claims that both Kimbrell's wife, Lilia Kimbrell, and his former banker, Thomas Blake Whitaker, were also part of the scheme. The total amount of corporate funds that Kimbrell allegedly diverted exceeds $2 million and took place over the course of 2.5 years, the lawsuit said. The suit states the funds were purported to have been used for Kimbrell's political campaign as well as personal and recreational uses. Da-da-da-da! Da-da-da-da! So where will this go? I mean, they've got the full complaint there. You know, who knows where this is going to go, right? Who knows where this is going to go? But that is something that is definitely a problem for him. Regardless what he says, regardless of what happens, he has issues, and I think we should we will see what that claims. But that's definitely headline material on Josh Kimbrell. We'll see. I think, I'm not sure he's made an answer to that yet or not, but I find it interesting. Don't you always find these things interesting, how they break, when they break? Why is it that he's just announced a week or two in and all of a sudden this lawsuit pops up? Who pushed the lawsuit? What's the motivation? Obviously, this is something, it doesn't actually say when it happened, when this was, or whether this was ongoing or not. But isn't it interesting that this has just popped up? That's why I think running for public office is such a slimy thing, because everybody has something that can be twisted and turned to the wrong direction. A lot of people are questioning, we'll just go back to this and I'm going to close it out. A lot of people are questioning, is Nancy Mace going to run for governor? Many people say yes. Many people say, oh my God, I hope not. But we will see what she's going to do. She's certainly putting herself out there, and she certainly is using the bully pulpit that she has, being a U.S. representative, to her advantage, even though many of us do not like it. So that's a little bit about the news that I have here today. There is so much more, as always, going on, but I think I'm going to say adieu, because I've just got so much to do to get ready. We got to be up there ready in place by 4:30. So we're going to do that. And I will be back tomorrow morning with all kinds of intel about the unveiling of the Pamela Evitt and her big announcement. There's supposed to be something bigger that's being announced. I can only imagine. I'm not going to say anything because I'd hate to be wrong, but I'm speculating in my mind what the bigger announcement is. So stay tuned. Tune in this afternoon at 5:45 if you'd like to watch it on Facebook Live. I mean, other news sources are going to have it, so if you'd rather watch it from some other place. But you know me, I'll be putting my own special spin on it and wanted to capture the moment. So we will be going live on Facebook, WCRS 98.5 FM /1450 AM. Hopefully today sometime we'll get the rest of the weekend videos up. So if you'd like to, if you're not a Facebooker and you'd like to go to our website, WCRS1450am.net, you certainly can. Hey, let me see if I got any other comments here before I hang it up. Somebody said, maybe Princess Penny needs her first trip to the beach so I can take a vacation. I have only one thing to say. I don't think it would be much of a vacation for me. I will tell you this funny story at the end. Yesterday, I did post a little video on it. It's not very good, I will admit that. But if you watch the minute 34, you get to see the whole thing. But there's a lot of looking at the grass, so I'm just going to say it. Penny and I were sitting in the backyard yesterday. It was about 11:30 in the morning, so it was daylight. You know, I mean, it wasn't early, it wasn't late. And I sat down in a chair and I had Penny on her leash, and all of a sudden Penny is in sentinel position. She is looking left. She is looking right. She's got everything in her sight. And then all of a sudden she starts barking. And I look up and there is a deer in our field, I don't know, a couple 100 feet out there in the field. Well, okay, so I was like, okay, one deer, no big deal. Then another deer, except it was a buck and a deer, and I don't know who was there first or not, but anyways, then out of the woods comes the other deer. So now we have a buck and a female doe standing there in the field. Penny, of course, is going crazy, and she has a cameo in this at the beginning. And then, where is it? About I can't remember. I don't know if I wrote it down or not. But the whole thing's a minute 34. All right, so now we're watching this, and they're watching us, and we're watching them. And then one of them, I don't know whether it was the doe or the buck, stands there and goes off. I think it was the doe that said, "Okay, I'm going to leave now." And she goes trotting off to the backside of the field out there. And the buck is saying, "I'll stand right here and guard things so nobody gets you, honey." And then the buck starts walking towards the back where you can't see him any further. He stops right on the edge of the trees, and I believe it's the doe comes back and goes, "Come on, honey, we got business to get to." And Penny is just sitting there going crazy. "Come on, Mom, let me at him, let me at him. I know I can do it, I know I can do it." Anyways, it's on my Facebook page, Anne, A-N-N-E, Eller, E-L-L-E-R. It's also on... It's also on WCRS 98.5 FM /1450 AM. Just Penny, Anne, and a couple of deer in the backyard. Hey, that's going to do it for me. This is WCRS right here in Greenwood. I hope you've enjoyed the show today. If you did, give me a like and a share out there in Penny, just a second. In Internet land, that would be good, on Facebook. If you didn't watch it and you just appreciate what I do right here, call or text. I always love to hear that you like what I do. It really spurs me on. Some days I need more spurring on than others. That's going to do it for us. Penny says, "We got to go, Mom." All right, bye-bye, everybody. That's a wrap here on WCRS. That's right, Penny.